Hi, this is TapCat. Welcome to part 20 of Let's Play Prison Architect. We'll go ahead and start this baby up. It is meal time here at Club Fed, although we're not quite Club Fed anymore. We have taken our first shipment of medium risk prisoners, and we're going to take another one tomorrow. I was wondering what that dark object moving was. Just one of our cooks or workmen hauling out the garbage. So let's do what's becoming a tradition and check our needs report. Just make sure everything's going okay with food. I would say yes, this is more than acceptable. We do still have a little bit of ingredients floating around that's not in refrigerators. Now, I don't know, are they always going to be tidy? See, like he just put that in there. So it wasn't that there wasn't room. Maybe they just were busy and didn't fool with it. So since the refrigerators are kind of expensive, I'll probably just leave that be for now. Interesting to note, I had installed an extra TV, and looks like that got used pretty consistently as well. Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like, this bar is any lower for having installed that, but obviously it's not getting any higher. We also, I think, do need to remember that as we move along and we keep adding prisoners to the mix, well, then we need more of everything just to maintain, right? So if I just have the same number of TVs in there for 50 men that I did for 20, well, of course, I'm not going to get as good a rating. So I don't know that I have room for as many televisions as I'd like to put in, but, we could probably just throw some here. I really think that you don't have to do it like you would in a real life situation, where you put it up against the wall and all that. I mean, the way they just walk over and literally stand on the TV, that's how they use it. And it's obviously one prisoner per TV. Whereas in real life, I mean, hell, half the men in here could be watching one TV if you had a ball game on or something like that, and they'd all be thrilled. So, yeah, I don't think we need to worry about necessarily doing it in the most realistic way ever. All right, I'm not too worried about yard time. Now, I was going to say, looks like we are doing pretty well on the workbenches. There's always seems to be one or two that's free. Yeah, and exercise is not a high need. As is often the case, we seem to have a few people that struggle to find time to shower, and they're not going to get to do it now. So this is definitely going to be a day I'm not really going to spend money. I want to wait until after midnight, and then I'm going to have to choose. But what I'm probably going to start doing is installing a closed circuit TV setup. And we're going to give that a little test drive. And I guess I'll do what I've been doing, which is throw a guard in here. So we can see what's going on. I'm a little slow. Like we miss a big chunk of the workday by the time he gets over there. There we go. Yeah, man, look at this. Holy crap, they really churn out the license plates. But we do have a couple of tables that are empty, so that's good. That tells me, they're able to keep things organized and everything's going pretty well. That's my guess. We're making almost $2,300 a day just on the basic fee we get for prisoners, minus the cost. That's pretty good. And in this workshop, I think we're making something like $6,500, $7,000 a day. So, I actually think we're not too far from building this place out. I mean, we're going to get a good supply of money. Like if I did the one time, I think when I stopped recording one time and then the next time I picked it up, I let 4 days pass. And if I did that now, we would really have a ton of money, you know. It was pretty good then, but no, it would be insane if I did that, you know, with this setup. I'm pretty sure we had 3 machines of each type then. Well, there's definitely a bottleneck getting in here. Arguably, I could, you know, install another door, put a metal detector in front of it, but we're not really having a problem overall, so I don't think I'm going to do that. That's another thing I could stand to do is just like I extended the kitchen, we could extend this dining room and move the TVs and the phones over. We'd have room for another row of benches. We may possibly need that once we, oh, you know what? We're done working for the day, so let's go into deployment and release this guy. And we'll put him in the cell block. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see if anything's going on in here, too. We got some dudes taking showers, so that's good. Hygiene is definitely down to a level I'm comfortable with. Yeah, absolutely nothing going on in here. And this is free time, right? Yes. So if they wanted to be... Oh, I take it back. There's one guy hanging out at the pool table. And that's fine. And one guy at the TV. But not a whole lot else. So I'll go ahead and just let him go, I guess. Do I want to put him over here? Probably. I don't really have a whole lot of concern about anything as far as our fights and things like that go, but doesn't mean we should tempt fate and not guard the prisoners since they're all going to be in their cells. All right, let's see how we did in the workshop. Yep, 6,800. Now, I really, I had heard you could make like something like $9,000 if you had 9 of each table type and it was fully staffed. So, yeah, I don't really know why we're making a little less than 7. But, $7,000, that's pretty good. It got us up to 20, including our normal daily cash flow. So, you can't really complain about that. All right, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and install closed circuit TV. So we're going to do the monitor first. And then, actually, I should have just left that open. Where do I want to put this? I guess I'll just set it in the middle here. And then I'll put one in the laundry room. One thing that's kind of weird, I did experiment with this a little bit off camera. If you read what the monitor says, it allows up to 6 cameras to be used when a guard is within range of this monitor. But in fact, it only worked for 3. So that was rather unfortunate. Now, what we're going to do, because this thing only works if a guard is right on top of it, we're going to cut his patrol route down to basically nothing. So that he always stays on top of that square here. So that will make him a little less effective as far as patrolling in here, but I seem to have visibility anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. And then you see what it does. The camera kind of pans back and forth, and we can see what's going on. The only downer is this room is just so big that you can't quite see all the way over here, but I certainly feel like we're getting a good idea of what goes on. So we can have one more camera. Now, I'm thinking that the best place to put it would be here. The only thing that scares me is if I put it on a wall, like these are both shining this way, right? If I put it here, it is smart enough to know it needs to go that way, right? We'll try it. Let's hope this works. It'll be a little embarrassing if it doesn't, but hey, we got to know. So this would be nice because it means I don't have to keep putting guys in here and then taking them out, you know. I don't want to keep doing that all the time. So we don't need any cells at all for the group that's going to come in less than an hour now. We have more than enough. We'll cap out at 51, but we got 3 guys ready to go. One of them just did. So we won't even be at 51. What are we going to end up with? 49, I guess? 48? Yeah, 48. Because we'll go down to 40 and add 8. So, yeah, we got... Okay. So the camera was, in fact, smart enough to know that it needed to shine up and not down. You know, logically, that's what was going to happen, but always good to verify these things. Now, we got in our new batches of prisoners. Let's go ahead and release these 2 guards so they can go help process them. What does this do for me? So now, really 1/3 of our population is medium or normal security. So it's funny, it really doesn't take long. Once you start accepting them, you know, they start taking over. Now, let me think. If we're at 48, we probably want at least a couple of cells. I think that's fair to say for tomorrow. So why don't I go ahead and we'll start mapping them out. Yeah, I actually feel... Uh-oh. I think I made a boo-boo. Okay, I tell you what. This guy is going to get the penthouse suite, I guess. He's going to get a little nicer digs than everybody else because what am I going to do? You know? I think it only makes sense. I mean, I'm not just going to leave it empty. So, yeah, I made it just 1 tile too wide. Boo-hoo. Okay, and let's go into objects. And let's see, they all need beds. So we'll put those in. And they all need toilets. So we'll put those in. And they're going to need showers on the off chance that they decide that using a shower in a cell is in fact a thing to do. I just realized I was going to put the stupid... Oh, yeah, I can do it. I just do it like that. And a drain. And let's see. It's so weird having it like this. I'm so not used to that. Let's go ahead and put the bookshelf in here. And, you know, like, I have to do this just to kind of complete the whole master suite feel here. I got to put the TV in this one. It's just too cool. All right, so we're going to need pipes. I don't think there's any question about that. And we'll just run it like that. And then I think that's it, right? We've got... Oh, I didn't put in bookshelves for any except the master suite, right? Yeah, so like this is Al Capone's cell, basically. Oh yeah, okay. I've fallen asleep at this switch completely, I think, because I didn't put in the I didn't put in the divider here. I was just like, wait, what? There's other cells? I'm only designing one here. What are you talking about? All right, I think we got it. Other than the jail cell doors, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave that as is. Yeah, it's just amazing how much bigger this one feels. That's unreal. Okay. Luxury housing at its finest. And I think we're probably good to just go ahead and start putting these in now. It's going to take them a while to bring it over anyway. So I did build a path here. Yes? Yes. Okay. Just checking. It's kind of weird that you only see the pattern here. I wonder if it's that you need double wide. You know what? I'm a curious fellow, and I want to test that. So let's test it. For 90 bucks, we're going to learn something today. I think that's reasonable. Oh, so I was foolish. I didn't take into account that they might not be done. I think they're done now, though. So we'll put that door back on normal mode. And the only other thing we need to do is define these as cells, including this palatial estate. And then we're going to build showers. Well, we're not really building showers. We're defining showers. Okay. So now we have credit for 55. Yeah, I just realized, I mean, I actually had some room here. And maybe I should have just come over the rest of the way. I don't know. No, that's not good because then I couldn't get out. If I had to come out here, then I'd lose a cell anyway. So who cares? I mean, I'm not in a contest to see like what's the maximum number of prisoners that can squeeze into this place. My goal is to max it out within reason. If I were trying to do it the other way, like I wouldn't have a wide corridor like this. I wouldn't even have what's this one, like 2 or 3 tiles. You just don't need it. Like you just do like probably 1 tile, really. That's probably adequate. 2 is definitely enough. But I don't care about that. Squeezing in another 10 guys or something. We're the mellow prison. We're the prison of peace and love and good feeling for all. I'm sure the inmates would agree. I'm sure they... Whoa. Well, that was a close-up. I didn't realize, like, you could go down to quite that level. That's quite a thing. Okay. So, oh my God, we're going to lose 4 more guys. And we got 8 coming. But we're not exactly making up a ton of ground that way, are we? That's pretty funny. Okay. Oh, all right. A little better day in the workshop. Get those slackers moving. Who knows? Maybe they finally figured out they had more tables. I don't know. But that is good. I mean, $25,000, and that's after installing the closed circuit TV. And what we could do, I'm trying to think. So where else would you want to monitor? Realistically, like, I want guards in here because when guys go through that metal detector, I want them searched pronto. The guards tend to congregate out here, so I don't really need a camera so much. I mean, we could put one in the holding cell. It's just we hardly ever use it. So, yeah, probably just in here would be the only other place that you really feel like it could, be good. But that means I gotta pay for a whole monitor. I gotta pay $1,000 so that I can install one camera. But I don't know. Maybe that's what we should do. Oh, I just realized though, so it's going to be a little awkward putting a monitor up here like we did down here. Oh, okay, we have more room here. So that's what I would do. All right, maybe we will, but we're starting to get a little low on time. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to, oh my God, look at that. Oh, Jesus, the list just keeps getting longer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're literally not going up at all. Wow. Wow, that is crazy. I do think what that means, though, is our mix is about to change a lot. I bet most of these guys are low risk. Now, I don't know that for a fact. But holy crap. Yeah, that's phenomenal. So we may go, let me just see, let's do the math. Let's just play the game of if all 8 are minimum. Then that goes down to 22 and normal goes up to 25. So, yeah, they would suddenly become the majority. Whereas right now, they're a little more than a third of the total population. They'll become more than half. Well, I mean, whatever. If it is, it is. That is one reason I started taking higher risk guys. And I guess what I'll start doing if I have to is taking the high security, the max. That would certainly be the end of our little club fed, wouldn't it? God, that's just unreal. So we have a lot of extra cells right now. I don't think I quite... Yeah, never mind. I take it back. I thought I might have this door a little off center. I think it's fine. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do here is probably hold this until our next installment. Wow, look at it. Shower time. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see these guys using the ones in their cells. Don't overburden the one, for Pete's sake. Okay, really quickly, before these other guys come in. Yeah, all right. It wasn't all the minimum, but a lot of it was. Uh-oh. So, water and showers and a monitor, that's not good. And he killed my guard. Look at that. Our first person electrocuted, and it wasn't a prisoner. Okay, well, I don't know if that's a tragedy, if it's karma, or what. I will leave that to you to puzzle out. But either way, that is all for now. So thank you for watching, and I hope we see you next time.